Of course, many are more focused on what the president's been tweeting about the NFL rather than tax cuts. So would he be better off, whatever your views on this subject, talking about that and not about the NFL? Spieckerman Media President and CEO Lee Spieckerman here. What do you think of that, Lee, that the president, whatever you think about this issue, the NFL issue, is robbing valuable oxygen from the time we should be talking, or he might want to be talking about tax cuts?
Well, I think you can do both. I mean, the fact is that what he's touching on are crucial issues for the country. We have to respect our flag. Patriotism is important, but we also have a huge issue with racial division in this country. We have a desperate need for African-American advancement and real policies on that.
How did this escalate so much?
Well,
was it because the president said what he said, that it galvanized?
It did. I mean, politics poisons everything, but here's to me what it laid bare. First of all, this started a year ago when Colin Kaepernick sat for the national anthem. Where was Roger Goodell? Roger Goodell should have convened a summit of owners, of players, of community leaders. These guys are very active in their communities. They know what's going on.
He thought it was like a Johnny one-off at the time. Only that guy.
He's paid $35 million a year. That isn't good enough.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones last night. I'm a rabid Cowboys fan, but even were I not, I would say that he set a fantastic example. That's the kind of creativity that the commissioner should have
kneel before the anthem, get up, lock arms afterwards,
and got up and stood for the national anthem. All the players were in unity.
So everyone addresses everything in that.
Right. Well, it does, and you know, that's the kind of creative thinking I wish the commissioner brought to the NFL. I mean, Jerry Jones is saving the game again, just as he did in the early 90s when he realized, hey, you know what, we shouldn't be giving money back to the networks. There's this network called Fox that's starting up that might like the NFL. And all of the wealth and success the league enjoys now.
But Lee, what if they don't follow that lead? I thought that was an obvious thing to do. I thought it was very smart, seeing it the next day. You know, that's a neat way to handle it.
Right.
Be united with your players. You know, we'll all be in unison of the national anthem, but they might not repeat that on the Thursday night game. They might not repeat it in this weekend. What do you think?
I think Roger Goodell should have a conference call with all the owners and strongly suggest that they follow that example. And the other thing that it's laid bare is that, frankly, a lot of white people, unfortunately, just don't want to talk about these issues. They don't know what it's like to be black in America. You know, being a black millionaire is tougher than being a white millionaire in almost every case. And a lot of white people don't want to hear that or talk about that. I want President Trump to take the lead on that, and he can. I'm a big Trump supporter, but I wish he had talked about those other SOBs, not just the folks that are not standing for the anthem, but the white supremacists and the racists.
But uniting team owners to sort of obviously take their players' side in this one and say, you, Mr. President, have interfered in our workplace, recommending what we do with those SOB players, you know?
Well, again, President Trump was galvanizing his base, and patriotism is important. And Jim Brown, who was a real
trailblazer. You think it was deliberate on his part?
Pardon me?
Do you think it was deliberate on his part, Lee, that the president had? This was not a spur
moment. I think, you know what, I think it really bothered him, and I think, you know, President Trump has an ability to pick up on sentiments out there that before a lot of other people do. That's why I got elected. And I think he sensed that this was really bothering people, and he seized it. I wish, as I said, he had said those other SOBs are the white supremacists and the racists, and he can still do that. What he needs to do now, in my opinion, is really launch some breathtaking and historic policies.
But we do know that ratings for the NFL games, ratings for these awards show, like recently the Emmys, when they get too far along in politics, they do lose people.
People are tired of it. They want a respite. Even people in politics want a respite from it. And it's sad that one of the few institutions in our country that had unified all racial groups, people of all backgrounds, many different religions, where politics really was not at front and center, now has been poisoned with that. And I think Jerry Jones, I think Roger Goodell, and President Trump together, the three of them, ought to help lead us toward reconciliation and getting back on track.
I agree with everything you said, although I'm disappointed that you're a Cowboys fan. That's a whole other issue. Lee Spieckerman, Spieckerman Media President, CEO, as he was speaking, Janet Yellen had started.